And just like that, the final episode of the recording session has begun. Welcome back to VA-11 Holiday Cyberpunk Bartender action. And we last left off. Dana and Jill were having a little girl talk, I guess? I don't know. I don't know. That's not really what I think of when I think of girl talk, but whatever. It's one of those things. Anyway, let's go and continue. Let's go ahead and continue. Lope. Alright. I saw nothing, don't worry. Anyway, let's grab some beers. Guide me. Oh wow, we're actually still making stuff even though, okay. Damn, you have lots of beer. Well, the BTC gives me discounts and a point card I can use every day. Well, the BTC gives me discounts and a point card I can use every time I buy their alcohol. With that, beer is actually the cheapest drink I can get. Is there any difference between the drinks at the bar and these? The drinks at the bar are more addictive, flavorful, and also stronger than the ones they sell in stores. And besides, the ones in the bar is more of a double IPA. This one is more of a Pilsner. Yeah, Pilsner. Oh, kiramiki. Let's see. That's an envelope. I saw nothing. You have lots of beer. The BTC gives me discounts and a point card I can use every time I buy. Oh, okay. It's actually the cheapest drink I can get. Okay, and these ones are a bit stronger. In English, please. Yeah, exactly. In English, please. This one's lighter in color and lighter in flavor. Don't know. It tastes like. It doesn't taste like a light. Doesn't taste like a lighter to me. Is this one made with that? What was the name of the base liquid you used at the bar again? The base liquid? Nutriogenic dichemical lidogenol or NDL. Okay, NDL. It was a supplement or something, right? It was an experimental fluid they created to replace water when the maid and kiss polluted water supplies. The effects of pollution turned out to be temporary, so NDL never went into mass production. But the BTC still commissioned it for the use in bars. And is this one made with it? Let's see. Yep, here it is. Nearly an NDL and cornstarch. It's always cornstarch. Cornstarch? It serves as a stabilizer, if I remember correctly. They need it for packaged drinks. You would say, I don't know, cornstarch and drinks? No, not drinks specifically, but like anything that's artificially made. It's always like cornstarch or something. I see, and I just realized something. What? You're a nerd, Jill. You're just now realizing this girl is so nerdy, it's ridiculous. Guilty as charged. I still have that bottle of rum somewhere around. Do you want some of it? Will you have some too? Not really, no. Then leave it like that. I'm not letting you drink beer alone. That's not how drinking with friends works. Do you consider me a friend then, boss? Why wouldn't I? Dunno. What with being my boss and all, I was never too sure. Well, in case you had doubts, yes, I consider you one of my best friends. Ooh, best friends? Besides, you and Gil are always so diligent and responsible that I'm boss in name only anyway. That's good to know. On a side note, it surprised me you kept that poster of me in the room. And even more that you hung it in plain sight. When I gave it to you, it was more or less a joke, you know. Does it make you uncomfortable? If it doesn't make you uncomfortable, why would it make me uncomfortable? It's my own face. I'm still wondering why you did it, though. Aside from filling an empty spot in the wall, I don't really know. I thought it was funny, too. It's because you got a crush on the boss. Jill and Dana sitting in a tree. Kissing. First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes a baby and a baby carriage. Except you're both female, so that's not really possible unless you adopt. But I think you can get like a surrogate mother. But then again, how can you get a surrogate? You have to get like a. I don't know. Anyway, I guess it's like if someone gave you, what? A dildo-shaped trophy or something and you had it there as a conversation starter. Although no one comes here anyway, so it's kind of pointless. What? No Steamy Nights of Passion? Not since a year ago, I think, and I'd rather not talk about what happened then. Did someone hurt you? Because if they did, I can go dish out the pain. No, nothing of the sort. A different kind of mess. Uncomfortable mess. A not being able to have sex for reasons mess. Glad to know you have my back, though. That's what friends are for. Wait, you talk about the poster compared to having a dildo-shaped trophy. Did you just call me a dildo face? That's what friends are for. Hey boss, be honest with me here. About what? Who's Gil exactly? What do you mean? You know what I mean. Who the fuck is he? Oh, we can drink. Can we? Okay. Who the fuck is he? Oh yeah, that. Well, I have a couple of ideas. We haven't had a full beer yet. I have a couple ideas. Hold on. How do we get... I don't know. I know for certain that Gil was in the Hong Kong riots, and he took part in the anti-riot force before defecting. That should give me a clue as to who he is, but... So far, I've only found out about one such defector, and he didn't leave Hong Kong for at least 4 years. I also know for certain that Gil was in England and France during that time frame. And it's always like that. When I think I have a clue as to who he is, something else comes up that contradicts the evidence. That guy's troublesome. A bit, yeah. 15 out of 11. What does that mean? I wonder if Gil's alright. You worried about him? You make it sound like I'm some emotionless robot. You can be hard to read. Really? I mean... I don't think so. But then again, like, I consider Jill and me to be fairly similar. And sometimes I've been hard to read, I guess. I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like, there are times where I can be read like an open book, right? Like, for example, if I have romantic interests in a female, it's going to be very obvious. You can read it on my face very easily, right? But, on the other hand, I can be a bit harder to read as well. So, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think she's hard to read. I get her pretty well, actually. I wouldn't worry about Gil so much, though. There's 3 things I know for certain about him. First, he can take care of himself. Yeah. Second, you can sincerely trust him. Yeah. And third? He absolutely hates bell pepper. That's interesting. I wasn't a big fan of bell pepper when I was a child, Gil. That means you're a kid, huh? He does? I've seen him even reject food that has been in contact with it. Man, what a baby. Unless he's allergic or something. He's not. He's just a baby then. Man, what a baby. How did you meet such a guy? He showed up in the door of the bar. What? Well, it was shortly after the whole incident with Robert and the levitation potion. Right? Oh, yeah, the guy who fell off the whatchamacallit, put the levitation potion. Right, levitation potion, yeah. It was a slow day and he just showed up at the bar. I offered him a drink, but he said he didn't have money on him. I couldn't leave him alone, so I pretty much gave the drinks for free. And after a couple, he broke down crying. Huh? I don't know what he did, but he was really, really regretting it. He wanted a second chance or whatever, and I told him if he could wash himself, I'd find him a job. And I'll be damned, he looked totally different the next day. Damn. I tried and failed to find out anything about him. So I decided to take him at face value. I judge him for what he did as an employee. And aside from the occasional sudden escape, he's been as loyal gets. I returned the favor in kind, covering his ass from time to time. Sometimes literally. What surprised me is that you took him in so easily. I could take care of myself, and I always kept an eye on him. And besides, after the whole Robert thing, I couldn't ignore someone that desperate so easily. I see. You've made the bar more lively yourself, you know. How so? Well, with the regulars you've earned, of course. Like that blonde titty hacker. Okay. She has a name, and her name's Alma. I can't remember her name. Alma? I was gonna say Armitage. She's a nice girl, you know. I don't think she's young enough to be called a girl. Yeah, how old is she exactly? I was gonna say like 30-something actually, late 20s, early 30s. Says the girl who's eternally 17. In any case, she's really lovely. I have to assume she's probably about the same age as Jill, right? When you hear her speak of her family, she speaks with such love. Her face just brightens up. Really? It makes me kind of jealous that she has such a close relationship with them, to be honest. You have bad relations with your family? Not bad, but I'm not exactly close to anyone aside from my mom and dad and aunt. Like I said a few episodes ago, I'm kind of the same way. Like, I used to be really close to with my cousins, right? Like, for those of you who, you know, those old school MegaShadowFist fans, you know, you OG people out there, you remember this. I actually didn't get my very first video game console until I was in 3rd grade, actually. It was a Christmas of 2003, and I got an original Xbox, which I still have. I don't sell video games or anything. I don't. Knock on wood, I'll never be in a position where I'll have to out of desperation. I should have knocked this wood over here because you guys can hear this because... Anyway, because, like, I don't have a shock mount. What was I gonna say? But yeah, before then I had to play, like, video games at, like, cousin's house or, like, friend's house. There were these 2 cousins that I had in Florida who, you know, I could always play video games with them. Like, they had a Sega Genesis, I played that, an N64, and then when the GameCube came out, we played a lot of GameCube stuff as well. Yeah. But yeah, we were pretty close, and then over time we sort of just like gaming was our bond, but then over time we sort of just got more distant, I suppose. Like, we'll talk to each other and everything, but like it's not the same, I don't think. But aside from that, like, there's just my mom and my dad and my sister, and even then, I wouldn't really say that I'm like super close to like my family, because, you know, I don't know, I tend to be a bit more reclusive, and since like my family didn't exactly have a lot of hobbies, didn't share a lot of hobbies with me, we didn't exactly get that whole bonding time outside of like maybe family trips and whatnot. One of those things. Anyway, not bad, but I'm not exactly close to anyone aside from my mom, dad, and aunt. But back to Alma, I'm really hoping she finds a nice guy to settle with. I mean, she's so bent into finding one, I can't help but want her to succeed. Ah, I see. There's also the sex worker robot girl. She also has a name, and her name is Dorothy. I needed a drink. Not that type of drink, it's water. It's legal for me, I can drink alcohol pretty much in any country now, pretty much, you know, now that I'm 21, I can drink alcohol pretty much anywhere except for places where it's illegal, and like there are a couple parts of India where I believe you have to be 25. But aside from that, yeah. Dorothy. She intrigues me though. I've seen lots of sex workers over the years, and she seems pretty giddy. It's not that she likes her job, but rather that she takes to it with such childish excitement. I've kind of noticed that too, but then again, Lilim can be weird. You think? Lilim operate in some really foreign logic. I mean, they don't really share our fear of mortality. Even if their bodies are destroyed, their minds are already backed up in the collective source. That's not true for all Lilim. Remember, Jill, when you had that conversation with, who was it? With the streaming channel, right? Where you're talking about that old Lilim who was created before the collective database, before the collective source. Like, he used to actually feel mortality just like everyone else. If they lose an arm, they can reattach it or replace it. Depending on the circumstances, they might not even feel pain at all. I think actually if you lose an arm in real life, technically I believe if you get it done quickly enough, I believe you can get it reattached. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'm just making stuff up. Then again, you know, like I don't know if you could or not actually. Cause like if you could, I think there'd be a lot more people with like real arms than like prosthetic arms maybe. Cause like, you know, like reassembling all the nerves and like muscles so that you can properly like move your hands, like move your fingers and everything and grip things. Yeah, I don't think we've actually gotten that far in medicine, like medical technology yet. I don't think so. It's not like they haven't attained human-like emotions like fear or love, but they are different. Like a different culture, if you must. I didn't see it that way. Aside from that, Dorothy is a DFC-72 as a social interactions model or something. Lilim get positive reinforcement straight from their bodies that they're fulfilling their main purpose, so... I'm guessing she gets a built-in push whenever she's in meaningful or challenging social interaction. Interesting. The name Lilim is a bit weird, though. It is? You'd expect them to be called bots or dolls, but Lilim doesn't convey the image of automatons. Just a tip, bots and dolls are considered slurs by them. Oh, really? Bot is akin to calling them retarded, and dolls like calling them fake. Thanks for the advice. Really? I didn't know that. Just it's like calling the Lagoos. What do they call them? Man beasts? What do they call man beasts? Something like that. From like a Fire Emblem. Specifically the Ike games, so Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn. That aside, do you know why they're called Lilim? As far as I know, because they all come from a bigger AI called Lilith. Hey, don't we know Lilith? Haven't we? I feel like that name's been mentioned before. and Lolam are Lilith's offspring in Jewish folklore. Jewish folklore? What? Oh, cool. Jewish folklore. Whoa. Okay. Hey, speaking of names, why don't you like being called by your full name? I have no idea what you're talking about. My full name is Jill. You better call me that. Don't act stupid. Back when you first transferred, I called you Julianne, and you almost tore me a new one with your glare. See? Like that! It's no big secret, but it's one of those things that feels silly when you say it out loud. Try me. Well, did you ever watch Model Warrior Julianne? Yep, that's what I was thinking of. I remember, like, she mentioned the whole Model Warrior thing. I forgot it was called Model Warrior Julianne, but I remember that there's, like, this thing that she wanted, like, it was, like, some, like, machine or something that she wanted. It was, like, a game machine or something that she wanted. Not all of it, but my little sisters are a big fan of the reruns. Back when I was in elementary school, I was a huge fan of the show. I had everything, from the dolls to the costumes to the lunchboxes. It didn't help that it was one of those shows that got strapped literally everywhere. I saw a couple of episodes once. They were really nice. It was beyond nice. The show's about a model who can transform into an armor-clad magic knight. She fights demons born from greed and vanity. How the show presented Jules hating her job because of invited enemies, and yet still found solace in trying to be a role model. Hell, the main character wasn't a kid. Julianne was an adult that became younger when transformed. I'd say it was a pretty ambitious kids show, even by today's standards. Just the fact that her enemies were literally issues dealing with beauty standards of body image. Challenging as fuck. Whoa, you got excited there. And that is the problem. Back when I was obsessed with Jules, I sang the songs, dressed like her. I could even recite full chapters. Something tells me you still can. That's beside the point. It was nice while I was in the elementary school, but then I went to middle school. And what a surprise, tweens are jackasses. They went out of their way to tease me about the things I did back then. I don't hold it against Jules. I always hold my grudge against those fuck jobs. Sounds rough. You know how most girls worry about their thighs at that age? I worried about jerkasses singing the theme tune of the show mocking me. Anyways, every time someone calls me Julianne or Jules, I instinctively react negatively. Pavlov would be proud of me. I never talk about it because I find the whole thing too silly in retrospect. And yet, it affects you even today. There's nothing wrong with it, though. It's actually kind of reasonable. I sure hope so. Come to think of it, what kind of kid were you, boss? When I was a toddler, I was the kind to always fight with kids bigger than me. Surprise, surprise. Then puberty happened, I became the Merriam-Webster definition of shallow jerkwad. Around the time I turned 16, I realized what an idiot I was and went on to become who I am today. And the less I talk about those years from 12 to 15, the better. Fair enough. So Jill, what kind of guy was your grandpa? He was rough around the edges. The kind of guy that means well even if he says otherwise. He seemed to have a soft spot for me though. One moment he was congratulating my dad by berating him a little. And the next he was playing with me. My dad worked a lot and my mom was always traveling, so I spent most of my childhood with him. Can I ask how he died? Out of old age. My dad says his last words were something like, fucking scientists created talking mannequins, but they still can't let you upload your brain. Yeah, that's actually, I get you. Let's have a drink to that. Why the question? I'm curious about you. Really curious. I just realized that even though we see each other almost every day, I know very little about you. Oh. From what you tell me, though, seems your grandpa's personality rubbed off on you a bit. I've heard that one since I was a kid, actually. You know, boss, I'm a bit curious about your circle of friends. What kind of people do you have in it? Keep in mind, you're included in this circle. Keep in mind, you're included in this circle too. So any insults you hurl will apply right back to you. Anyways, I have this friend I've known for a long time, a red-headed, glasses-wearing gun nut called Iris. Okay, I'll keep that in mind in case we run into her. The one you called for the helmet thing? That one. She's managing a BTC bar in Panama right now, if I remember correctly. She's managing a bar too? I got the idea from her, actually. Oh. It's called N1RV NA, and if you thought this city was dangerous, You should see the people she has to deal with there. Piracy ain't nothing to fuck with. And means it's an annex to another business. What else does she do there? Oh, that's interesting. A little subtle thing to this game, to this world's lore. I just love this game so much. I love what I love about it is how so full the world is. Like, we barely know anything about it, but like it just feels so alive to me. I don't know. I think the bar was originally her hotel's bar. She moved the bar to its own building elsewhere and opened N1 RV and B in the hotel instead. So instead of VA-11 Hall A, it's N1 RV and B, and N is an annex. Okay. Nerve? I don't know if this is like an acronym or something. Weird decision. I believe she said she wanted a place away from the noisy rich tourists that go to the hotel. But there's a little bit of safety there, right? They might be noisy, but like they aren't going to try to kill you or rob you, right? And then again, just because they're rich doesn't, I don't know. So that bar is her woman cave. Woman cave? You can have a man cave, you can have a woman cave, it's alright. That aside, let's see. Friends. She doesn't have a lot, does she? I guess there's also my little sister, but that's a given. Not necessarily. Some people have terrible relationships with their siblings. Oh, there's also my old partner from when I was with the Neo San Francisco Police Force. Good old Lexi. Should give her a call sometime. Wait, you were in the what? I've done lots of things, Jill. I spent a short time collaborating with the police force. I've been a wrestler, an MMA fighter, chimney cleaner, lumberjack, pet shop attendant, corporate mascot. Corporate what? I still see my face on some websites from time to time. Anyways, aside from you, Gil, my sis, Iris, and Lexi. I guess there are a lot of people that don't want to see me in harm's way. Mostly because they're the ones that want to be hurt, that want to hurt me. What about you? I guess I have acquaintances here and there. Back at home in college, I went out a lot, but it felt more like going out was the pleasure rather than the people involved. I get you though. I get you. I really do get you, Joe. Cause like, I am introverted. I'm heavily introverted, right? And a lot of people tend to think that introverted means like shy. That's not necessarily the same thing. Basically, it has to deal with how you absorb energy. So a lot of people think that introverted is shy, extroverted is outgoing. That's not really the case. You can be extroverted and shy. Basically, your body requires a certain amount of mental stimulation in order to feel. I'm basically quoting the D News explanation verbatim. Pretty much requires a certain level of mental stimulation in order to feel happy. Less than that, and you'll feel bored and depressed. More than that, and you'll feel super stressed, right? Now, introverts have a natural level of mental stimulation, so the problem is if you get them over-involved in too much social interaction, they'll end up feeling really stressed out. Whereas extroverts, that's not to say that they are dumb, but they have a lot less natural mental stimulation, so they need a lot more social interaction to get to that happy medium. So in order to summarize it in simple terms, introverts are drained by social events, extroverts are charged by social events. That's basically what it is. So I'm heavily introverted, right? And that's not to say that I'm not exactly social or anything, you know, like I do enjoy talking to people. I'll go out of my way to talk to people from time to time, but you know, I do enjoy my time together. But I think one thing that I've noticed myself is that personally, I think it's not so much the people that are involved, rather than just going out is the pleasure, I guess. It's kind of hard to put into words, but I think, I don't know, I get her. Aside from you and Gil, my closest friend since moving here is Alma. Oh, and Dorothy. I mean, sure, there's always 4, but that cat's a hermit that refuses to go out. That's a good thing, though, actually. You shouldn't let your cats go out. I mean, you can, but, like, just make sure that they are... Make sure that they're fixed, alright? You don't want to have any alley cats. That's really not good. And you know, he's a cat. Hey, a cat's fine too, you know. Hey, boss, what will you do when the bar closes? I don't know. Maybe I'll take a friend... I don't know. Maybe I'll take a friend's offer of working with her. I was also thinking about going back home and helping with things there. Or maybe going traveling for a while. I see. Oh, but don't worry, bureaucracy is slow as fuck, so they won't close the bar for quite a while. Better enjoy being there while you can. Yeah, maybe. Will you be visiting me in whatever bar I end up working in? I have a bone to pick with the guy that supervises the bar I'm planning to get you transferred to. I go there even though I have virtually no reason to. With you there, I'd have something pleasant to look forward to. You're sending me to someone you have problems with? If I have to trust another bar owner, it's certainly him. He's actually a pleasant boss from what I've seen. The fact that he and I have tendency to go at each other's throats is an unrelated matter. I'll trust you on that one. I don't know. Me personally, I tend to get very comfortable in certain situations, which is why, typically speaking, like, what I try to do is like moments of like, you know, like big leaps, like when I first moved to college, or like when I first started, you know, like college/university, or things of that sort. Like I try to make big decisions then because I tend to get very comfortable, and I'm the type of person who, once I've developed a nice social circle or whatever, or like nice surroundings, I don't really like changing it very much. I mean, sure, change is the only constant, but that's true, and I understand that. But it's kind of like, oh, I'll hold on to that thought. But what was I saying is the only constant, but like, I don't know, like, I feel like if I were to go to like a bar and have like a new boss and everything, it wouldn't be the same. Now granted, as like a voice actor and everything, I have a new boss essentially. I have like a new boss or a new voice director or whatever, essentially, every single time that I do something. So that's a bit different, but I don't know. I mean, since it's so different, you can't really get like super comfortable. I mean, you can get comfortable, but it's not like this. It's not exactly the same, I don't think. Anyway, it's just one of the things. I'll trust you on that one, then. Don't worry. Maybe I can get you a bracelet made out of wood pieces from the bar's counter or something. We'll see. Hey, I'll tell you what. When the bar closes, let's both take a vacation. Go on a trip. That'll clear your mind a bit. Yeah, maybe. Chapter 2, Amarga. Alright. So I didn't know this was divided in chapters like that. Your electricity bill will be sent out coming right up on the 24th, which is 5 days from now. Please make sure you have the 8,000 needed. Jill is curious about Daruma she saw. Getting one will prevent her from becoming too distracted. Have a nice day. Alright, how much do we have, actually? What are our funds right now? Actually, first and foremost, are you aware that I'm a lawyer? Hold to unlock. Let's go ahead and save. We have a couple of new things, actually, to read, too. Alright, let's go ahead and save over slot 3. Oh, boss with the hoodie anyway. Best boss. Not to be confused with best girl. How much money do we have? Alright, we have 8,069. How much is the Daruma? Crack Daruma. 450. A Japanese souvenir that has seen better days. Still has a vintage charm to it. Daruma, by the way, is a drum. Ladies and gentlemen. In Japanese. Return. Alright. We're not going to buy it, though. We're just going to focus on saving at this point, ladies and gentlemen. Because like Nobi said, I should probably do that. File. Save. Computer's getting kind of hot. Or not kind of hot, it's getting kind of loud. Let me make sure that my Audacity thing is going good. Still going fine. Alright. Let's go ahead and go to, I swear, this is not a joke. When I say alter ego, it is an accident, 100%. GSF January 4th card. GSF January 4th card announced 66 American Kids and Giant Yusuke headlining by Lana Smithy. The blood feud between Giant Yusuke and 66 American Kid will reach its climax this January 4th at the annual GSF Dome event, but it's not the only match of the night. Other interesting bouts feature great workers such as the Great DK and Aaron's. Full card below. 66 American Kid versus Giant Yusuke. GSF Championship. Red Comet Jr. Hey, Dana was Red Comet, so Red Comet Jr. Red Comet Jr. versus Nagisa. Women's Championship. Nagisa. That name. That's a historical name, but who? I can't remember. Akito versus the Great DK. Roy Campbell versus Aaron's GSF Junior Air Championship. Roy Campbell, that sounds like a cool name. Jack Baum and Blaze versus Huli and Karakolkota Tag Team Championship. Usuna versus Siegfried. Siegfried. Actually, it's German, but I've actually never known how to pronounce it. Like, this is one of those things that, like, you know how, like, back in the day, you know, like, before, before, like, you know, there were, like, Let's Plays and everything, and, like, we came up with, like, common, like, there were common, you know, common acceptable pronunciations for words, or for names, for video games characters. People just pronounce things everywhere, any way that they wanted, which is why I said, like, Saria, and, like, and Legend of Zelda N64. It didn't help that the first Let's Play that I watched of Ocarina of Time, the only one actually, the very first, by Darkman and Sith, I've talked about this story before, he said Saria too. It's one of those things. So I know. Siegfried. Nonokamo is now making smart. Nonokamo is now making smart underwear. Lana Smithy. Oh, I forgot to read the whatchamacallit actually, I think. Wrestling? My boss made me curious. By Lana Smithy, if underwear you can change with a voice command is something you really want in your life, Nano Camo has you covered. Already providing consumer versions of their advanced nanomachine fabric, they plan to release a line of underwear that can change its look with a spoken word. No more changing your white panties, just change its color to black and you'll barely notice. That won't change the smell though, they're not that advanced. We expect an increase in sales next year thanks to this innovative product, a PR representative told the Augmented Eye. I'm already using them, super comfy if you ask me. Alright. Dungerit's admin has been arrested. Oh! You guys know how I've been talking. Like, this is why you do this. You do these readings. So, when we were in Dungerit, you remember how, like, yeah, there was this thing, and, like, the admin, like, we were talking about, like, whatchamacallit, Alice_Rabbit was the hacking thing and everything, and how, like, the, cybercrime unit up the admin's ass, like, last time. I'm not making any sense, but, oh, did I read the whatchamacallit? You just thought about looking at prices. Did not! Yeah, but, like, the guy got, again, yeah, again, but, remember, they said that, like, the last time that happened, the cybercrime unit, ended up arresting him and everything, so. By Lana Smithy. Famous hacker Alice_Rabbit graced the popular text board Dungerit with a new threat, which resulted in the arrest of the site's admin, known as Firfir, for a second time. We have no details to give, other than that he was arrested as part of an ongoing investigation, Cybercrime Unit's Lisette Blanc told the Augmented Eye during a call. We are now busy tracking down the message that appeared yesterday. When inquired about the arrest, Firfir would only respond with the calm, "Not this shit again." Poor guy. Seriously. Alright. Apollo Bank is getting attacked too. Media's still awfully quiet about it. Augmented I talked about it very briefly. Maybe someone lost their job due to that one rogue article. It was from Kim. She's always trying to write serious shit, but I think AE got tired of her. Fucking shame. We haven't seen Kim in a while now, if you think about it. So all we'll get is clickbait from now on. Gonna get worse at the very least. White Knight says there's a lot of people inside the building. At least 3 people are already dead. How? Was someone there shooting people? Looks like it was the security for the building, but I've got no details yet. Sounds weird as fuck. Come on, Insider Anon, you gotta give us more. Doing my best here. Thanks, Based Anon. Threat closed. Glad to know that this super old meme is still being used in 2070X. Seems like a lot happened while I was gone. Apollo Bank is getting attacked 3. Explosion registered! And media's still quiet about it. This is, Apollo Bank is being attacked thread 3, by the way. Can't confirm there's an explosion, but it looks like it was just one of them. So there's more bombs, not just one? That's right. Do we have any clue on who's doing this? I'm hearing from several sources that this is a group, a new one, looking to overthrow the government. No names have been mentioned, but it looks like it's not a group, but just one person who set up all this. That's pretty ballsy. And this is just a rumor around here, but Alice_Rabbit might be involved. How? A hacker is helping out hostages to escape, and they're suspecting of Alice. Huh? Someone doing stupid shit on the internet is being actually useful. Someone doing stupid shit on the internet is being actually useful. This thread is closed. Some deep shit happened right here. What'd she say, Awesome? Seems like a lot happened while I was gone. Apollo Bank is getting attacked. 4. Threat 4. Can confirm the situation has finally reached its end. The attacker was shot dead, but a huge amount of data was released from servers all around the world. Remember the leaks from Alice? Those were nothing compared to this. Proof of corruption, money laundering, espionage is actually pretty unsettling. Damn. The file is available from approximately 60,000 sources. 60,000 sources, terabytes that contain all operations from the Glitch City government and White Knight operations. It seems the ultimate goal from the attacker was not to blow up the bank, but lead hostages towards the servers inside the bank, which had the files under several layers of physical security. That shit sounds whack. How do you even make a plan like this? No idea, but that's what some of the witnesses are telling the police. Oh, looks like I have to leave. But I'll try to write down all the details for a future post. Gonna need some time though. Godspeed, Anon. Thanks. This thread is closed. Will you read the file? Nah. Oh, come on, Jill. You know you're gonna read it. Stop pretending that you're gonna read it. Now, there hasn't been anything new, though, so... with these two... Just making sure. Mascot. Oh, this is how we get the whatchamacallits. Anyway. Let's go ahead and save. Save over slot 3, if you don't mind. Alrighty then, and we're not going to continue with the whatchamacallit here because 1, we're close to the end of the episode anyway. Are we? Yeah, we are pretty close to the end of the episode, but I need to find ways to stall for time. But 2, since we just saved, I don't want to have to like make a cut in the next episode. So like, this is as far as like content is concerned, this is basically the end of the episode. So let's find ways to goof off for like the next couple of minutes. Yeah. So actually, I guess I can reply to like some comments here. A long time ago, a few recording sessions ago, I asked you guys who your favorite characters were. I believe, let's see, I'm trying to remember here. Kratos at first said that he wasn't sure, but then like he eventually said Mr. Donovan probably. Let's see, Phoenix Edgeworth. Who was his favorite character? I think Dorothy, was it? Or Alma? No, Joe Milton's was Alma, right? No, I can actually just check my emails right now. Let's see. Go to... character. I'm just searching Gmail right now. Character. How dare you call Phoenix Edgeworth? How dare you call Oh, this is in relation to that one comment on Bartender number 12's. That one comment where I said that, like, Germans are, like, cold and whatnot. Okay, let's see here. Oh, you got him good there. Shut up, Kratos. Let's see. This is whatchamacallit. New activity, VA-11 hold. This is on Friday. That's too recent. This is on September 19th. That's Ace Attorney. October 4th. This might be hybrid actions for the win. Oh, that's when we're talking about the whatchamacallit. Oh, yeah. Okay, what did Joe say, though? Oh, these are just, like, the replies. Let's go with, let me search Stella, then. Because that was the title of the episode. Stella? Okay, new activity. Here we are. I'm not going to be able to, like, read these, am I? Because, like, it's like... However, Kratos is definitely an American. My favorite is Jill. Okay, so Phoenix Edgeworth is like my favorite. Let me just go to the actual whatchamacallit. Let's pause the video so we don't get Let's Play Exception, or actually this is an advertisement, so pause. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, Phoenix Edgeworth said his favorite is Jill. Dorothy, if we only count guests, and Gil's an honorable mention because he's always the butt of everyone's jokes. Let's see. Joe Milton said, our lists are pretty much the same. Oh yeah, Jill from main character, Mr. Donovan for side character. However, after that, I might lean towards Alma for second place as side character. Okay, yeah, I was remembering that pretty much correctly. And then Kratos is like, I don't think I have one, but then he's like, oh, if I had to guess, he all replies. Let's see. It just happened randomly. 6 to 8. Oh, that's when we're talking about the freaking jaw thing. Maybe Mr. Donovan is what he said. Okay, yep, that's that. There we go. That was a good way to kill time, I think. Anyway, what are we at now? 39:45. Although I'm gonna have to take into account I made a cut, like a few second cut. All right, so let's go ahead and exit since we already saved. Let's save again anyway, just because. Why not? Tradition is tradition, ladies and gentlemen. All right, exit, please. Go to the title screen? Yes, please. Sukeban Games. And without further ado, I guess it's time to end things off here. Is there anything else I want to say? What did you think about this episode? This day, actually, gentlemen. I thought it was pretty cool. Like, we didn't really get to serve and get to know any of the other characters, but it's nice to get to it was nice to get to know a little bit more about Jill and Dana, because, like, I feel like because due to the way that the game is, we don't really get to know a whole lot about them. We get to know a whole lot about the side characters, because they're the main focus, but we don't get to know a whole lot about the main characters. So, although at this point, I'm not even quite sure if really calling the guest side characters is really accurate. I'm sure there are a couple who would probably qualify as side characters, but I don't know. One of those things. But anyway, it's nice. Now we're in chapter 2, and I guess like with like each new chapter, we have like a new expense that we have to do. For chapter 2, we have to save up for what do you call it? For our rent. We need to make rent. One of those things. But anyway, yeah. So I guess we'll end things off here. So if you like this video, this series of videos, please feel free to leave a like if you thought it was cool. Please feel free to subscribe and join Team Strawberry today. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/MegaShadowFist. I'll be sure to leave that in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is MegaShadowFist signing out. Bye!